couch today is Whalerinth and Vicious Cohesion. How is everyone doing today?
I'm pretty good.
Well, I'll hand it off to the couch to talk about the run, and let's get this going.
Yeah, so this is Zero Mission, 100%. Pretty cool.
And it's just you, right, Vicious? Whale couldn't make it today, I don't think.
As of right now, yeah, it's just me.
Okay, just making sure. All right.
All right.
All right, Vicious, you want to do the countdown? Oh, I think we lost Vicious. I don't hear him anymore.
Apparently.
Alright, sounds good.
Alright, everyone. Seems like Vicious fell into the fiery depths of Lower Norfair, and while they crawl their way back, I'll be doing the countdown to get this started. So, runners ready?
I'm ready.
Ready.
Alright, so Metroid Zero Mission, 100% on GBA, NoxiousNick versus Destructor642, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, Nick.
Look.
Yeah, good luck to the runners. I'll try and provide a little bit of commentary while we wait for Vicious to come on back. So yeah, this is Metroid Zero Mission, the first Metroid game in the Metroid series. Have a new $5 donation just coming in from Zandera. $25 says, "Thank you for putting this event together and best of luck to the runners."
I'm back now. My mic broke.
Hey, Vicious, welcome back.
Yeah, so the run's already started, Vicious, whenever you want to take over.
Alright, cool. Yeah, Zero Mission has some really cool movement, in case you can't tell. Samus, while this game is built off of Fusion, it has a lot of changes to the physics that makes Samus really satisfying to control, I think.
Do you want to talk about the different 100% routes that we're going to be seeing? Because I think Destructor and I do different Bryn Stars.
Sorry, what do you want me to talk about?
Destructor and I do different Bryn Stars. I'm going to be doing early Bryn Star and he does late Bryn Star.
Oh, okay. So early Bryn Star is when you... So, sorry, this is my first time doing commentary. Early Bryn Star is when, after you get bombs, you go right up to where Variasuit is, and there's an energy tank up there that you have to get in 100%.
By the way, we got the kill on the eyeball monster right there.
Yeah.
Noxious side.
Yeah, that's called a double. It's when you hit 2 missiles on the same frame. But yeah, so there's a number of different routes in 100%, and they all clock in at roughly the same time. And according to Nick, they're doing different Bryn Stars. So early Bryn Star is when, right after you get bombs, you just bomb jump straight up to where Variasuit is, and you get an energy tank, and you get like 2 extra missile tanks, which makes having to farm in Kraid less of an issue. And late Bryn Star, you just skip those 2 things, and you go right back up with Screw Attack, which is a little easier, but it's technically slower, but it's so negligible that it doesn't really matter that much. It's really just preference. Are you guys doing different Norfair, or are you guys just doing the same Norfair?
I think we're doing different Norfairs too, because the extra E-tank you get from early Brinstar enables you to do a different Norfair route without refilling as much.
Yeah.
Overall path in Norfair is pretty much the same, but like Nick said, the advantage that he's going to have with that extra E-tank is that there's usually 1 mandatory refill that you have to do to complete Norfair due to all the heated zones. You either need Varia Suit, which we're completely going to skip, or a great amount of E-tanks. So with all the E-tanks that we have, we can just tank that E damage, but we need to refill at some point. With 5 E-tanks, you can technically complete Norfair without refilling a single time, which can be a bit risky, but definitely doable in 2 attempts.
Yeah.
You can also talk about we're skipping Varia in 100%.
Yeah, I totally overlooked that. Yeah, so the game, at the end, it just kind of gives you the Varia Suit for free. You don't have to get it at all. Unlike in other Metroid games, where you do have to get it, unfortunately. Well.
Yeah, I think we're at the point you should see the routes diverging. I'm kind of watching my own stream, but I'm assuming Destructor's going down while I'm going up. And the difference at the beginning, Destructor's going to enter Kraid about 2 minutes faster than I will. But in about 30 minutes, we're going to enter Torian at the same time. You're going to see Destructor get here faster and start picking up all these items later that I'm getting now. But I'm going to get here later and just skip all this because I've already got it. And we should enter Torian at the same time if we're close.
Yeah, if there aren't any glaring mistakes that happen.
Hello? Hey, you're coming in on the stream, I think. You got the schedule? Hey, Vicious, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm hearing an extra voice, and I don't know if he can hear me, telling me that I can hear him. But we have I think multiple layers of commentary going on, and not all of it is about the run right now.
Yeah, we've got that extra intel. Question is, did the stream get it or not?
No, they didn't.
I hope
My
not.
mic was muted on stream, so you guys have that very confidential piece of information. And just remember, I know where you live.
All right.
Don't leak my IP. So anyway, Destructor's going up to fight, or I guess going down technically, but going to fight Acid Worm now. I love the way you fight Acid Worm in this category, because you just kind of take a dip in the lava and shoot it.
Yeah, Acid Worm is actually one of the benefits to doing early Brinstar, is it takes 30 missiles to kill him, and you want to have another 10 missiles after the fight to kill 2 extra side hoppers later. And with late Brinstar, you can have a max of 40. So you want to get drops, and you sometimes have to slow down to get extra drops to kill all those things. And with early Brinstar, you get 2 extra missile packs. So you have a harder time getting through Brinstar, but the Kraid can sometimes be a little quicker if you're lucky or not.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of downtime. Is this a good time to jump in?
Yeah.
So no new donations yet. We have the fate of the animals that we're still betting on. It's save the animals with $1,229.38. Kill the animals with $1,207.56. Chat, you have until Super Metroid, once we get into Torian and Mother Brain's head hits the floor, to make that happen. That is when that incentive gets cut off. So if you want to see one of these two things happen, make sure you start donating your money now, because it might be too late if you wait.
Did I hear hot sauce? Okay.
Chat, we're only at tier 4 in the hot sauce challenge. That is weak sauce. We need to get up to like tier 8.
And for those wondering why there was a disembodied voice without a voice on stream, that's because my mic was muted. It's the G special. That's my specialty. Having my mic muted when I want to say something on stream. It's just my signature move, you know? Just trying to keep it real. And that being said, what I was saying essentially is that at tier 4, we're between 55 and 65,000 Scoville heat units on the hot sauces, and there's 3 of them to unlock for me to slam down that tier 4, move on to tier 5, and tier 6 is where some real damage is gonna, you know, start to get stacked. So keep them coming. 4 great cause. Let's reach 5K.
I'd like to see that damage.
Oh, I
What's
mean,
the highest?
tier 8 and 9 is over 2 million Scoville units.
Ouch.
Wow.
Yeah. During the Super Metroid RBO race yesterday, you know when they killed the Crocomire? And he just starts, like, his skin starts melting off its face in the lava pit? That's what tier 9 looks like. So save or kill the animals, and basically save or kill the organizer. Those are the options.
So, Destructor is going to fight Kraid now. Unlike in any percent, he doesn't die in 3 missiles. He actually dies in 15. And Destructor's doing doubles, which aren't landing 2 missiles on the same frame exactly. But, yeah, that was really fast.
Pretty much the point when you do Kraid in 1% is to fire 2 missiles per jump, as it is possible to get a kill in 2 cycles with only 1 missile per jump, but it is much harder as you need to change those jumps quite quickly.
So if anyone's keeping track, if the way to tell who's ahead is Destructor should be about exactly 2 minutes ahead of me if someone can find out where he is and watch the time and see where I am in 2 minutes.
Considering the gameplay I've been showing so far, I would 100% bet on myself not being ahead.
Well, we won't know for sure until Torian, and actually, if we do different Norfairs, there's technically a 7-second difference at Torian, but we can talk about that when we get to it.
Well, our Norfair is the same, you just don't refill, I do. It's just...
Oh, you don't do Newfair?
No, oh no.
Oh.
New Fair. No. No, I don't.
Alright, good. We won't talk about Newfair then. That'll be for another day. I guess I can bring that up. Okay. I guess I can talk about Newfair now. Among the differences in 100% routes, when we get to Norfair, there's 2 different routes that we could go, and I thought Destructor did Newfair, but I guess not, so we're going to do the same. But there's another route that's technically 7 seconds slower on the first pass because you get an extra missile, and then at the end of the game, during cleanup, you've already had that missile, so the 7 seconds will converge. But again, the two routes are more or less the same by the end. It's just preference if you want to do one or the other.
And I'm pretty sure also that the point of New Fair is that it grants you, like the route is a bit different as the one that we usually do, and it does grant us the possibility to not heal during the entirety of Norfair despite only having 4 E-tanks. So New Fair pretty much goes with the late Brain Star. If you do early Brain Star, New Fair doesn't really have any reason to exist.
It just comes down to preference at that point. There's one or two minor movement differences in a room or two because of something you get sooner or later, but more or less it's the same. I guess another way to make it make more sense is New Fair is the community name for it, but really it's called Early Ice or Early High Jump, I think is how we'd refer to it.
Yeah, somewhat. I guess we are going to do Early Ice.
Yeah.
I got a quick question.
Okay.
So all those strats and everything, it's all from the community, right?
Correct.
So how is New Fair the community name if Ice is the actual name? My brain just kind of like, you know.
Let's just say
brain
it's,
didn't
it's a bit
But which
more
one
of
is it?
I guess it's, I mean, the thing is that it isn't really used or talked about too much, so pretty much the circle of people who go and talk about it call it New Fair just because it's the name that we came up with as a funny one.
It's mainly because
New
it's
Fair.
the newer the newer route. It was come up with sometime in the past couple of years or so.
I get that. I'm just asking the tough questions, you know. Got to get in there. I mean, me, I'm having a good time. I don't know about you guys, but I'm watching this race and I'm having like some soup in a mug, and I'm just like, you know, this is great.
Yeah, Zero Mission is one of those games that's full of strategies where when someone finds a new way to do something, we'll try to find a descriptive name for it, like Early Ice, and then on the side we're like, let's just call it Kirby's Air Ride or something really dumb that no one wants to talk about. That does not describe the run.
I love that. If I find a strat in Zero Mission ever, I'll call it the 2 number 9s with extra dip.
And I'm sure you would have about half the community joining you and calling it that, while the other half would talk about it, what it does.
Well, there was a prediction in chat, by the way, on who the winner would be, and we had 17,400 for NoxiousNick to 17,500 for Destructor, so pretty even odds right there.
Half
gonna
of
be
this
a
chat
no
is
lighter.
voted.
How are you feeling, Destructor? How's your run going?
Alright, sorry, I was keeping it silent because I was doing these bomb jumps and I really wanted to do some timing in my head. I mean, run isn't... It's not great, it's not too bad either. I could dream of something different. I could definitely dream of something better, but I've done worse, that is for sure. If you want a bit of insight, leaving Crate, I am exactly tied to my average. Current average is 110.44.
I'm about half a minute behind my PB so far, so there's only more time to lose after this. But we'll see. Did you get the criteria JBJ, Destructor?
Absolutely not. This trick is too hard for me. I've practiced it a lot, but I've never been able to get it consistently enough to incorporate.
I'm gonna attempt it. You can't promise I'll get it.
Yeah.
Oh. Hey, I got the criteria JBJ. If
Nice.
Bitches, do you know about that trick? If you want to explain what just happened?
Yeah, so basically what that does is normally when Samus jumps, she doesn't get enough height to reach the slope, so she can shine spark into the super missile. But with the bomb jump, you can, and the timing is incredibly tight.
Yeah, the trick for the bomb jump there is normally if you just jump, you'll activate your spark. but you want to do a normal jump, so you have to... Hang on, I gotta do bomb jumps.
I gotta say, that check reminds me of the full Halfie in Super Metroid. In both
It is very-
execution complexity.
It is very similar. In order to do the first jump, you have to land while you're morphed, and you have... I don't know if it's 1 frame or more than a frame, but you have a very short window to unmorph and do a straight jump so that you can catch the bomb jump. And it is very tough. And then, even with the jump, you still have to morph in midair and get the bomb jump to get the height. So there's quite a lot going on, quite a lot of tech in just like 2 seconds of movement up there.
That's got to be my favorite thing about not just Zero Mission in general, well, just Metroid speedruns in general, is that there's so much stuff going on in a very short amount of time that it's really impressive. Like, even though these games might not be as flashy as Super Metroid, there's still a lot going on. Just within, like 5 seconds. Nick did Ice Cream Spark. No, almost. Oh, no, he didn't get it.
I did half the Ice Cream Spark. That's kind of like this game's version of the halfie.
Yeah.
There's a very tight window in the ceiling there. Normally you can't spark in 2 tile height gaps. You need 3 tiles to comfortably spark. But if you get just the right position, you can fit it within 2 tiles. And that's what makes that trick turn into the halfie. Is if you're not just right, you'll bonk the floor up there.
And Destructor is now going into Norfair. We were talking about, he's already been in Norfair, but we're talking about Lower Norfair, which we were talking about earlier. And he did not refill. I assume he's going to refill its Spirit Attack. But Nick has 5 E-Picks, so he won't need to refill, or hopefully won't need to refill.
I won't need to, but I might refill just as a safety, because it is still dangerous. If you miss a step, you end up falling in lava inside of a heated room surrounded by enemies, and it can get pretty hairy. But I guess we can point out, we didn't get the Various suit, and there's quite a bit of items that are behind heated rooms. Unfortunately, they don't do that much damage, and they're not that big. So you can pretty comfortably get through all of them if you know where you're going. But going through all of them in a row without refilling in between can get pretty dangerous by the end.
Destructor did not get Muddy Spark. I'm very...
You got the Shine Break leaving the Norfair Super Room.
Nice, I got it too. Somehow that's the 4th run in a row I get it, so I don't know what's going on, but I'm happy about it.
Yeah, Vicious, did you want to talk about what a Shine Break is in this game?
Yeah, to put it simply, I guess, it's when you store a Shine Spark, so when Samus is standing between a tile that isn't a speed booster block and a tile that is, she can actually, you can actually break a speed block while you're speed boosting into it, but you can also store a Shine Spark while you're still standing on the block that isn't a speed block. And basically what that I think the most major use of it is in Escape Spark at the very end of the game, but what it allows you to do is basically just break a speed block you would normally just have to run into, where you can just store a Shine Spark and then use it elsewhere.
Yeah, given that I think Super Metroid is probably the most popular out of the Metroids, I like to compare Zero Mission strats to Super whenever I can. And the closest thing that Super Metroid has to a Shine Break is the Gauntlet Spark. if anyone's familiar with the short charge to get the Gauntlet E-Tank, that's what a Shine Break is in Zero Mission. And I'm in the heated room now, which is the one that I'd be worried about if I didn't have full health. Normally, with good movement, you can get in and out of this room with about 150 health. And without refilling, you can usually get there with 200 health, so you have a little wiggle room, but not a lot. So any misstep and you dip in the lava for a second or you touch an enemy, and that's usually run over. So that's why I take the safety heal for marathons for that room.
Yeah, the heated rooms, especially that one in particular, can be very dangerous if you make a mistake. Because the lava damage actually stacks with the heat, so instead of taking, what is it, like, are the heated rooms, correct me if I'm wrong, are they the same as the acid, or they deal 1 damage every 8 frames?
I actually don't know, I've never counted.
Yeah. I know the lava does 1 damage every 3 frames. But I'm not sure about the heated rooms. Destructor making quick work of the Imago. Very cool.
So Ben Show Sly in chat is asking, are we doing different routes? You see similarities, but not sure if see the same thing happening.
We did do different routes at the beginning. I think we're doing the same route right now for this segment that we're in, but because of the difference at the beginning, Destructor should still be about 2 minutes ahead, as long as everything's going well.
I'm not quite 2 minutes ahead of you, but like maybe a minute 30.
Okay.
Oh god, never mind, a minute and 10.
Oh, I have the stream behind me and I looked over it. Oh no. I guess now's a good time to talk about the puzzle rooms while you're in them.
Yeah, the puzzle rooms are an exercise in frustration, to say the least. Most of them involve crumble blocks, and the last one, I think, and Ridley involves, it's either a 3 or 4 frame window to jump while using Speed Booster, and there's no way around it. It's just a 3 or 4 frame jump, I don't remember, that the developers intended.
The main gimmick with all of the puzzle rooms that make it frustrating for speedruns is they all involve some kind of shine spark from outside of the room. So if you mess up the spark while you're in the room, that's like a guaranteed extra 10-second time loss because you have to leave the room and wait for the door to cross the screen, and then you have to enter the room and wait for the door to... It's just a lot of time loss just to get a spark back to restart the puzzle.
I also just got the map, so I lost like 30 seconds into rooms where you shouldn't do a single thing. So like, yeah, right now, let's just say you're 100% ahead.
Yeah, the map is a huge meme in the Zero Mission community. It's there, it's easy to dodge, and you can still run right into it.
It's very much shame on you if you get it, and yeah, shame at me at this point.
And there's another map coming up near the end, well, maybe the middle of the game.
You do cross that map like twice. You're talking about the Tresonia map, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. With this route, actually with every route, you cross that room twice. So you have to worry about getting the map twice.
Stop. There we go.
Destructor getting that 3-frame shine spark, or not shine spark, 3-frame jump first try. I believe Eagle's old world record failed that like 3 times.
I've gotten the map in Lower Norfair enough times. Oh wow. That I like to just morph under it. And that's easy enough to do. The reason the suitless map later on in the game is kind of a meme is because when you're suitless you can't morph. So you have to jump over the map. There is no safe strat, and it's easy to just run right into it.
One thing I think is important to point out is that a lot of the hitboxes in this game are really weird. So, like, the map, for example, extends way further than the sprite would suggest. So you kind of have to jump in a really awkward way in order for you to know for sure that you've jumped over it.
I tried to do the fancy bomb chain puzzle room, and I messed up the end, but I still managed to jump through the crumble blocks to save it. So you almost got to catch up to me, Destructor. Oh yeah, super missile management is another important part at this stage in the run. You have to use super missiles to get this far, but you want super missiles to kill Ridley faster, and you don't need them, but the more you have, the faster Ridley is. So there's quite a few places where you want to try and farm without slowing down, and sometimes if you're just lacking super missiles and you see them behind you, you still want to go back and get them.
I believe Ridley takes exactly 10 super missiles to kill, right?
Yeah, he takes 10, and you can have up to 10. So usually if you have the max super missiles and you use one to open his door, you could have up to 9 to finish him off. But usually you have about 7 or 8 by the time you get to him in an average run.
Super missile management is also pretty important in Orion, which we should be, or hopefully should be seeing very shortly. You want to have 4 and no less entering Mother Brain. But having more entering Mother Brain is good because obviously super missiles deal more damage to the glass tube. But you want to have 4 at the minimum once that glass tube breaks. Because you want to, basically the way Mother Brain works is there's a very small like area where Samus can stand near Mother Brain where her tank used to be, and you can kind of crouch and morph and shoot missiles into her in sort of a pattern, and you shoot 4 missiles and then 3 super missiles, not 3, 1 4 missiles and 1 super, and you do that 4 times in the run, or not in the fight, and if you don't have 4 super missiles, it pretty much screws up the entire thing, and you'll have to farm regulars or just use regular supers, and it winds up being way slower because one Smother Brain is hit with a super missile or 5 missiles, she'll just close her eye again, and you have to wait for her to shoot her beam, which is pretty slow.
Alright, well, I've left Ridley, which means the routes should be converging soon. Once Destructor and I both enter Torian, that's when we'll see who's ahead and by how far. Because I'm assuming Destructor's cleaning up the top of Brinstar at this moment, so you'll see him more quickly get the stuff that I got earlier.
I'm gonna make a prediction that you're ahead by at least 50 seconds.
I'm gonna be coming up. I have 2 items to get, and then we'll see who's entering Torian.
I was unable to do Brinstar Super as I somehow sparked onto the slope, the bomb slope where we break to get that missile tank up easier. Well, as we get a Shine Spark, but I somehow started the spark on that slope unbroken, so I had to restart the spark. That's way too many mistakes for my liking already, and these are major mistakes.
Well, speak for yourself. I actually messed up the spark too, so we're gonna see
Hell yeah.
two Brinstar Super double attempts.
I'm not done cleaning up the top of Brinstar yet, though, so we still have quite a bit of a lead.
So since I do early Brinstar, I don't have to go back through that shortcut room. So I do a more advanced strat where you have to store the spark, place a bomb, and while your spark is stored, you go up and collect the missile that's in that room. I wasn't watching how Destructor collected that missile, but you take a couple extra trips through that room, so you have more safer and more fun chances to just get the missile at your leisure.
I usually do it the same way as you, but yeah, like I said, this time I placed the bomb, but I think I wasn't holding the direction to get an actual spring ball up to the top, so I ball sparked instead.
One thing I feel I should point out is that one of the reasons why late Brinstar is possible is because of a super missile block, where there would normally be a vine, and there's a lot of just random or seemingly random areas like that in the game where the developers just kind of handed you or what's the expression? I don't know. Where the developers just kind of were like, okay, well, people are gonna probably speedrun this, or let's just put these blocks here to make it more convenient.
Zero Mission's level design was definitely, designed to allow for shortcuts and pretty much do the game without taking certain items and the routes that we want. The fact that entering Ridley's area first before Kraid doesn't require any trick or anything, you just take a shortcut that you can find somewhere, and let's just say a normal way, just proves that the entire level design of this game was made to allow for your own route choices, just like it is to the end. Normally, in a more casual fashion, you would get the power bombs to finish the game, but you really don't require them. Like, right above the few last power bomb blocks that block the end of the game, there's actually just a path in the ceiling where there's just no block and you can go through. So you don't need to collect any power bombs.
Do I have 2 seconds for a donation?
So, absolutely.
We have Thoriel coming in with a $20 donation. My donation for all the save rooms in Axiom Verge Rando race yesterday. Thank you so much, Thoriel.
Speaking of power bombs, in a couple minutes, I assume everyone's going to be doing the power bomb clip, or the early power bomb clip.
So right now, since we're in Torian, we're hoping for as many super drops as we can on the Metroids. And Nick, I would love to know how many supers you got.
A lot.
Oh, okay. So you took mine. I haven't gotten a single one.
I had enough that I missiled a couple Metroids that I didn't even have to missile. I just do it out of habit to make sure I still have supers later.
I got one super from the last Metroid.
Apologies, everyone. I had to step away to get some coffee, and I see that you're in the final area of the game. Oh my god, that was so fast, so much underestimate. What's happening?
You still have to go back and get 100%.
Oh my god, you just killed Mother Brain. Are we saving or killing the animals this time?
In this game, kill every time.
Okay, gotcha. You either save the frames or kill the animals?
If there are animals in this game, I'm sure they're dead, but I have not seen them yet.
Speaking of save and kill the animals, we're currently at $1,229, $38 for save, and $1,227.56 for kill the animals. That means save the animals is currently winning by a factor of about $2. Guys, I guess we gotta keep Fusion Cannon here, don't we?
Oh, time for Nick. And Destructor right behind.
Yeah, we were talking about power bombs earlier, and I guess we can bring that up now that we got some cutscenes and downtime. One of the big pain points in 100% is the first power bomb pack that you're able to get is at the very end of the game. And you have to go all the way to where the final boss is to pick up power bombs, and then turn around and go all the way back to the beginning of the game to get the rest of the power bombs to get 100%. And about a year ago, I think, maybe less than a year, sometime recently, our runner C-SkyDW found a clip in the ship to get power bombs just about 2 minutes faster. So we can clean up the game faster, and then by the end of the game, it's about a minute faster because we still have to get that first power bomb that's a little out of the way. But the run significantly sped up after that was found.
Yeah, people
Noxious here
always...
got the bad ending, as you can see from the cutscene. 39-17, congratulations. That was a good time.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, damn. Gotta cancel that timer, I guess.
As Nick was talking about how the run became much faster, one of the, I guess you could call it a meme, was getting 110 in 100%, but after the powerbomb clip was found, getting 110 kind of was described as free because it saves 2 minutes.
Which is why there's only one person who has been able to get below that 110, just saying. Like, everyone says it's free, but so far no one else has actually been really grinding 100% these days, so...
Well, it was seen as free for those of us that were stuck at 111 for maybe a few months, and it was just that extra, like, few seconds of time save. You couldn't get the 110, and then suddenly your next run's a 109 because you saved 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, for a long time, 1 hour and 10 minutes has indeed been pretty much the golden time for, like, you'd be like top 8, something like that, top 7, top 8 with a 110. Nowadays it's more like a 109.
So, from the gameplay here, I'm guessing that stealth and speed do not go hand in hand?
Correct. This is the part of the game that Dread is actually trying to simulate, where you're helpless, there's lots of pirates. If you touch a pirate, he deals a whole E-tank of damage, so even in 100%, we could take maybe 9 hits. In any percent, you're just dead. So you want to be kind of stealthy, but you still want to go fast.
So Metroid Gear Solid, basically.
And in PB attempts, you actually don't refill at all, so one-hit death is the theme of this part of the run for most people going for good times.
It's actually possible to... Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, we're having good times, aren't we? No matter what.
I am. I don't know about Destructor over there. Are you having a good time?
I mean, you know...
You're supposed to say yes. You know?
Oh yeah, I'm having a super good time. This is amazing.
But yeah, I was gonna point out that it's actually possible to get through all of the suit lists without alerting the alarm or the pirates, but it requires, I believe, frame perfect or just about multiple frame perfect, I think, tricks to do. I've never done it before, and I don't fully understand how it works, but I know it is possible.
I think it's just the first pirate that's frame perfect, because the very first pirate you see is right underneath where you have to drop into the room, and he's just constantly turning around at random times. So it's a frame perfect shot to shoot him while he's not facing you, and it's random if he's facing you.
Yeah.
And after that pirate, it's pretty easy to keep the stealth. It's just slow to keep it in some of these rooms where you can just run through the wires and the spotlights.
There's also a lot of, let's just say, pirate attention manipulation during the suitless part, as what we're trying to do, especially when the alarm is activated, is that the timer, there's pretty much a timer on the alarm as they shut down the gates, and we want to get rid of that timer as soon as possible. So as long as we stay away from the pirate's visual, the timer of the alarm just clocks down and will turn off soon enough, which is something that we've done at the start of the suitless section by stunning a pirate and simply just going through it and still being able to turn off the alarm right as we were coming up a gate.
But yeah, the running through stunned pirates is probably the last interesting mechanic of this part of the run. There's at least 1 or 2 rooms where there'll be a pirate that's in your way, but you can stun him and you have a second to just run right through him.
In case anyone was wondering, the pirate carrying the power bomb does not exist, nor does the power bomb.
We have another donation from Anonymous for $3.16. No message. Thank you so much, Anonymous, for that donation.
There we go, I made it through suitless without getting hit. I took the safety refill because this is a marathon, but this is usually what you want to see in a PB attempt.
Yeah. Nick's here fighting Charlie, as we call him. I believe his actual name is like Chozo Ghost or the Tester or something like that, but we just call him Charlie.
I think this is supposed to represent like the trials or some kind of test for Samus to get her suit back. They want to make sure she's worthy. So they need to shoot yourself.
Shows the trials.
In order to get cool shoulder pads, you have to pass a test.
I saw that, Ross. You know what I meant.
Charlie can be quite cumbersome because whether or not, in order to defeat him, you need to shoot the orb he's holding while the glyph or whatever appears where Samus is kind of standing, I guess. But it's completely random whether or not the glyph will appear. And it's also, his movements are also random. So it can be quite a time killer, so to speak, if Charlie just decides to not cooperate.
Yeah, keeping with the theme of comparing parts of this game to Super Metroid, this is like the Phantoon of this game, in the way that he can just waste time through no fault of your own, and you can just stand there and watch the time go away. But, oh, I don't know if any of you can read Japanese, but that's where the game says I have the Various suit now, so I don't have to go pick it up. The game gives it to me, and actually, if I were to go to where the Various suit used to be, it would be gone. So it's considered collected at this point.
So basically, you Ubered your various suit.
Yeah. Yeah, you could say that.
Dozo delivery service. Sounds like a Ghibli movie.
And there's one of our Shine Spark puzzles that I was talking about. Not to spoil Dread, but these are very fun.
But you don't want to spoil Dread right now.
No, I don't think I'll say much more than that, but these definitely helped for those that are collecting 100%. These Shine Spark puzzles are really part of my favorite part of Zero Mission, so I'm looking forward to running Dread in the future as well for things like that.
As the cool kids say, you'll have to see it.
Yeah. Fusion's gonna have some similar puzzles, so if you like lots of Shine Sparks where you have to run up slopes and carry them through several rooms and maybe deal with some shenanigans that cause them not to work.
Also in Fusion, there's the secret line of dialogue if you get to Adam before getting the fusion missiles.
Oh yeah, we won't be seeing that in the speedrun, but it's in the game.
That could be a good incentive for Fusion now that you mention it.
It could. It would add a couple minutes to the run, though. I know how to do it, but you actually have to go out of your way to avoid the fusion, and your reward is Adam telling you to turn around and go back and get the fusion.
My favorite part about that is that even if you do leave Sector 4, you literally can advance through the game, because in order for the game to advance, it requires an event clock that activates when you get the fusion missiles.
I have another donation. From TurtleWax TV, $10, saying, I've been told to put the animals out of their misery. That puts Kill the Animals about $11 ahead right now on Save and Kill. It's $1,229.38, and Kill the Animals is $1,240.72. You guys have a little bit of time until Mother Brain Head drops in Super Metroid.
I gotta say though, with all this talk about killing animals this weekend, I'm surprised we didn't get a hate raid from Paydars. That would be on brand.
Very shortly here, Nick is going to be coming up on the early power bombs we were talking about. And the way that works is you can... So the pirates always move the same way, and you can position it in a very specific way to... When you freeze it, it will push Samus a sub-pixel into the wall, and that will trick the game into thinking that you're above the crumble block. And that you can just kind of break it by touching it.
Yeah, that crumble block is supposed to be the one-way gate that lets you leave that passage and never enter that way. So the getting pushed into the wall to activate the crumble block is crucial to picking up power bombs without blowing up a power bomb block. And so far, to our knowledge, that is the only one that you can do that early. There is one other power bomb in the game that is technically available early, but it's under a big pit of lava, and it's way up in the sky, or way up high in the lava room. And you can't bomb jump or wall jump or do anything to get up there in the lava without gravity suit. So even though it exists, there's no way that we know of to get it early.
In the same way you get the early power bombs, there's another trick you can do that involves manipulating the pirate to displace Samus's position, and that's a gate clip. But we didn't see gate clip today because gate clip is really stupid.
Now how do I describe it? On the way to the early power bombs, there's a different path you can take, but there's a power bomb blocks in the floor that stop you from going that way, and you can manipulate a pirate to push you into a gate that shuts, and you have one frame to do a space jump, which may or may not push you under the floor. And if you get everything right on the first try, it saves about 10 seconds over going the way Destructor and I both went. But it costs a lot of health to set up the pirate's position. You have to get hit by him like 6 times. And if you fail it, you can try it again, but it takes another 20 seconds to reset it up. and then another 6 tanks of damage to attempt it. So you can try it 2 or 3 times before he just kills you. So it's not a marathon safe strat, and it's not consistent by any means.
Eventually, up in Zero Mission would just be so satisfying to watch.
It's equally as satisfying to play, if not more.
I don't doubt it.
I think one of the things that brought me really to Zero Mission was the Shine Spark puzzles and 100%. Any percent is fun just because it's a short run, but there's not a lot of I almost said speed tech. There's not a lot of speed booster tech, which is my favorite part of the game. And there's a couple like really tight tricks that kind of make or break the run, so it's not super enjoyable to grind out in my opinion, but 100%, even though it's longer, has a lot more fun movement, a lot more interesting tricks, and you can do a lot more of Samus in 100%. That makes it a fun game to play.
I have another donation from Ben Show Sly, $20, says, "Save the animals." Which now the competition between the two, we're at $1,249.38 for save, $1,240.72 for kill. Saving is now in the lead.
I was today years old when I learned that you can actually morph Spark diagonally in this game.
Yeah, there's a couple places where it's useful, and that specific place it's necessary. I don't think there's any other way to get into speed blocks. I watch casual people play this for the first time a lot, and that is a major source of frustration for someone finding those speed blocks and ramming into them over and over and trying to fit Samus in that gap before discovering the Morph Ball Spark.
I always think that the Mother Brain Room, like post-destruction, is a nice touch in this game.
Yeah, it really is. And how it kind of has the same tile set, almost. Well, not exactly, obviously, because it's not a SNES game, but it resembles the Super Metroid one, which I think is kind of cool.
Especially with the power bomb beneath Mother Brain. Definitely I like that.
With Ruined Torian out of the way, there's only 2 items in Torian. So I guess this is about where you'd say you'd start cleanup, is we're going to head back into Brinstar and start picking up the items that we couldn't get without the gravity suit, and a couple extras along the way that we skipped just because they're faster to get now.
There's also another ball spark in Kraid that is intended.
Yeah, this item coming up is actually probably the only reason that we clean up Kraid at all, is because it's impossible to get this without the gravity suit, because you have to get a speed boost in the lava, and even if you had enough health to survive it, you can't get a speed boost without gravity suit.
There's also the entrance to Norfair that's in the save room. It's another convenient developer-intended thing.
Oops. I think there's one more item left in Kraid, which we technically could have gotten earlier, but it's just a lot faster to get it now. And then Kraid is all cleaned up. And the convenient part of this route is that the entrance to Norfair is right here, right next to this item in Kraid. You can't enter it until the end game anyways, because there's screw attack blocks followed by power bomb blocks, and you don't get power bombs till the end of the game. But this is that power bomb tank I was talking about that technically exists early in the game, but there's just no way to survive this lava and reach it.
There's also a missile tank here, just because.
I mean, if you really want to, you could lava dive and reach that missile, but you gotta come here for the power bomb anyway, so you may as well just get them both at the same time.
You know, I just realized that you can tell that the people making Metroid were making Dread for however long it was, 19 years, I think is what I've heard. And you can tell because they re-released, you know, Zero Mission and Samus Returns with all these extra things like Gravity Suit, Power Bombs, Super Missiles, like everything that you see in Super Metroid.
Yeah, definitely. Not just that. Basically, Dread was rumored 19 years ago. Then, I believe, 4 years after that, it was officially cancelled because, well, there was just no way for them to realize the vision they had with the technology at the time. So it's kind of like a Star Wars prequel situation kind of deal. And out of the blue at the August Nintendo Direct that we all watched, just probably squealed like schoolgirls. They announced it out of the blue. And yeah, so Mercury's team, I'm guessing, from what I heard, they learned a lot from the mistakes they did in Samus Returns. And I'm hearing good things about Dread. And I just cut people off because then I'm like, okay, I believe you, it's good, don't say anything else. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And also, in my humble opinion, I don't think Fusion needs a remake. Anything that was 16-bit era and later doesn't need a remake.
I could see that. This is that missile, by the way. We were talking about different routes at the beginning of the game. For those that do New Fair, you end up coming down this room in a way where you collect this missile early, and you're technically 7 seconds behind someone doing the routes that Destructor and I are doing. But at this point, when we collect the missile, that's when those routes would have converged. Just for the trivia's sake.
Also, I just want to say they are not allowed to ever touch Super Metroid. There's no way. There's no way they can do right by that game if they make a remake.
I don't know. I mean, classic Super Metroid will always be what it is. You can't take it away. But from what I've seen from Dread, I mean, a modern Super Metroid wouldn't be a bad thing, in my opinion.
I mean, the expectations would be really high. Like, the bar is really, really high.
Yeah.
I would love for Super Metroid remake to be done the right way. But in my opinion, like, if you ask me which Metroid 2 remake is the best one, I'm not going to say Samus Returns. I'm going to go with AM2R, which was not even made by Nintendo. Call me a purist or something, but I just think that was the perfect way of modernizing Metroid 2.
I think both games have their ups and downs, for sure.
Like I said, my personal preference is AM2R. I'm not saying that Samus Returns is a bad game by any metric. That's not what I'm saying. But just saying, remaking those games it's a tall order, to say the least.
AM2R, I think, was modeled after Zero Mission for a lot of inspiration and the visuals and the mechanics. And Samus Returns is a whole different beast, being on a whole different, like, a modern system. So there are bound to be differences with those in mind.
Oh yeah.
And for anyone like me that may have been spacing out for a few minutes, we are now back in the Chozodia ship. Norfair is all cleaned up. All the items are picked up from everywhere except for the ship. So the last remaining task for me and Destructor, I hope, is to pick up the rest of the items that are just in the far corners of the ship that are behind power bomb blocks. So we needed power bombs to come here anyways. and then we'll go see the final boss and take his power bombs and finish the game soon.
Gee whiz, I wonder who the final boss is.
This path that I'm on now... Oh, go ahead.
No, you. Not toy.
Oh.
I'll fight
I was
you.
going to say that this path that I'm on now is actually what we in the community call the out-of-the-way power bombs. Because there's a big stretch of the ship where we've been here before in Suitless, and there's one power bomb that's up in the corner that's hidden behind power bomb blocks. So we have to leave this area, get power bombs at the end of the game, and come all the way back to this area where there's nothing else here, there's nothing else on the way. But for 100%, we have to get it at some point. So these are the out-of-the-way power bombs.
All I was going to say is the last boss is surely not a mechanized version of the characters whose namesake is, Blade Runner's director. Probably not. Right? They wouldn't do that.
Do you want to bet?
Let's start a prediction.
I'm sure he's a nice guy.
Can someone put down 1,000 points on Ironic Ted for me?
Yeah, and for those wondering what Backseat Gaming Crew is going on about, the creator of AM2R, Dr. M64, real name Milton Gosti, after AM2R came out and then Nintendo C&D'd it into, well, what they hoped was going to be Oblivion, but, the internet that lives on forever. So Moon Studios, the studio that makes the Ori games, actually went, hey man, do you want a job? Because you're pretty good at this shit. And he worked on Ori and the Will of the Wisp, I think as a senior level designer or something.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
It's, he very much so contributed to making Ori and the Will of the Wisp the great game that it is.
I actually remember hearing that factoid when I was in the beta testing for Ori Will of the Wisp randomizer. So I remember hearing that factoid back then. And that was a month after Will of the Wisp came out.
Yep. And Ori 1 and 2 were both featured yesterday, actually, around the middle of the day.
Alright, so here's where the path diverges, where before early power bombs were found. Not this specific way, because we need a power bomb to go through this room, but in this general area is where we had to go to get the first power bombs. So you can kind of get a sense from here how far you had to go to get power bombs before you turn around to go all the way back to where we started cleanup. Because these rooms are now rooms that we only go through twice, I think, because we have to leave for the escape instead of the 4 times where we had to enter and leave and come back and leave a second time.
One of the nice little quirks about having power bombs in 100% is that it opens up those blocks right there. You can just fall down and escape. Previously, before early power bombs, we would do a clip into that power bomb door to avoid having to do what we call lottery, which is basically relying on an enemy, or there's a couple of different enemies you can do it on, but it was basically hoping that a gamer would drop a power bomb and you wouldn't have to refill. But to avoid doing that, you could just manipulate the pirates in the same way you would have gotten the power bombs from earlier. And you can clip into the door using that. You're using a similar method.
Yep, that E-tank from health.
Yeah, this E-tank is probably the bane of a lot of 100% players' existence because it's the last item in the game. It's right at the end of the run, and it's very tricky to get. If you drop any space jumps in that room and touch a laser, you have to leave the room and come back to reset the lasers.
Is there a Shine Spark strat for this?
There is.
There is. You do have to run through the room once to break the blocks on the floor, and then run back through the room a second time to store the spark. So it's maybe 6 seconds slower. So for a speed run, you want to do the faster strat, but it is a lot safer.
Oh my god. They actually did it. They went ahead and created Mecha Villeneuve. Or Mecha Denis, actually, it should be. I didn't tell you which Blade Runner.
And we also got confirmation that I have 100% of the items because he normally dies in 6 super missiles, but with 100%, he has 3 times the health and does double damage. So it took me 18 supers to kill him.
Insane. From now, I'm calling Ridley Denny from here on out. As another factoid, Ridley was actually named after Ridley Scott, the director of the original Alien movies, who also directed Blade Runner, obviously. And Samus is actually a pretty obvious tribute to Ellen Ripley. There you have it. 4/5.
One of my favorite things about the Zero Mission community is that we all just give random human names to things and items in the game. Like, there's a space pirate in Suitless that you can shoot, and he doesn't activate the alarm. His name is Roger.
Oh yeah, I forgot to point out Roger. I was trying to set up a shine break with a visual cue, but I pressed down just a little early. Oh no! Hey Destructor, help! Where are you?
Right, hard.
Literally two rooms apart.
I'm about to get
Escape Spark.
Okay, I got it. Escape Spark. Jeez,
Oh no!
That was actually scary.
I whiffed Escape Spark on my second try.
Oh god. You deserve that win more than I did.
Oh
I
my
can't even
god.
get a proper pirates
Next.
near the end. Alright, that's gonna be time for me.
When?
Oh, I missed the shit.
That'll be time for
Oh my god.
both runners now.
Alright, I got a 1:10:40 on my timer. Who'd you get?
Wait, you got 1:10:40?
Yeah.
Me too.
Hey, nice race, Destructor.
Oh hell.
Bro, you guys are in
Okay,
sync.
that's tied.
This is fucking insane.
Okay. Well,
Hey, I think I was ahead, but I messed.
We're gonna have to go by your timers because I can't call right now because of the RTMP delays. Your cutscenes are legit.
oh yeah, I can see
synced
that.
to like 2 frames.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, we need to frame count this run right now because I honestly don't know.
It's not accurate. I think, I'm pretty sure, I don't know.
I think you beat me by half a second, maybe less.
Nah, probably not. I honestly have no idea. It keeps, the frame by frame is actually insane. This is beautiful.
Whoa.
Well, thank you. I don't know. You definitely did not. Yeah, you did that for the show. No.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Here it is, guys. That was entirely planned. Nick and I definitely wanted to finish on a tie, so he decided to throw by the end. Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, it looks like Ross is breaking the tie in chat, so I'm gonna have to hand it to you, Destructor.
Oh well, thank you very much.
Referee's choice.
GG. We somehow
Holy shit,
got
you
under the
guys.
estimate.
Well, that was a good race. I'm pretty and we're both underestimate too.
Yep.
So yeah, well, there's no real clear decisive winner except for what chat believes is one winner or the other. I'm sure we'll be checking into that to see who's going to win the prediction. But great race, both of you. I mean, that was a photo finish, if there ever was one. Make sure you don't measure the results with a positron laser, because then you change the outcome by measuring it. But up next, we have Super Metroid. I'm sorry, Metroid Samus Returns. Any last words from NoxiousNick or Destructor before I let you two go?
Just thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for having us, and thanks for racing, Destructor.
Same for me. Thank you very much for the race, and thank you guys for the entire organization and having us for this race.
It was our absolute pleasure. And let me just say, I think this is actually back, I think it was LAN ETS 2019. We had a Zelda 2 Adventure of Link run, a 2-player race. And I think it was close, like almost too close to call. But I think this is even closer. Like, I don't think we've ever had a 2-player race or any race in the history of NoReset that came this freaking close.
The outcome by measuring it?
This is insane. So thank you very much to the both of you for being with us today. That was quite the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
And GG, Destructor. I don't know if I gave a GG yet,
Oh!
but you earned it.
GG.
I guess that's our tiebreaker right there.
Oh yeah, this is I think a side
Nick with the
effect of
win.
early Britstar. I spent extra time in a cutscene, so in order to go slower, I had to actually go slower.
There it is, your official record according to in-game time. Looks like Destructor is the winner of the race.
Congratulations, Destructor.
Oh, you get. Oh, do we want to go with that?
Maybe we could.
Yeah, let's go with that. Early Britstar cost me the race.
I mean, I had not only that, but I also had to reload a puzzle room once in Ridley, so that doesn't help.
Oh, no, Fairy changed the outcome by measuring it. Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right. Well, once again, NoxiousNick, Destructor. Seriously, thank you for being with us. Vicious, thanks for commentary. And yeah, I guess we're gonna move on to Samus Returns, and we'll be right back.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. See you, everyone.
Yeah.